Hello friend, how are you? Welcome to Tripan Study Center. Today we are doing most important chapter of history. What is the topic today? Nawab of Bengal. There is an important. The Nawab of Bengal, the Masik is a Quail Khan is started his career of Diwan of Bengal under Aurangzeb. Become a virtually independent with the growing of being of the central authority. However, there is a regular sent tribute to be a Mughal empire. Ali Wardi Khan is a deposed in the family of Masjid Kulik Khan and they made himself their Nawab in a 1739. There is an important point here. The Diwan of Bengal under Aurangzeb and he was the himself of the Nawab in a 1739. And this is a Nawab is about this stability and there is a pace and promoted to agriculture, trade and industries. The Nawab here on the stability there is a pace of promoted to the agriculture, trade and industry. The equal opportunity where is given to be both Hindu and Muslim. But the Nawab is could not be visualized. There is a long term of implication of the presence of the European trading companies and neglected of military is a predominance is in a 1756 to 1757. At this ancestor of Ali Barda is Khan, Sirajuddaulah had to be fight to the English East Company come over to the trading right. Is important here. The sensation of the Ali Bardai Khan and Sirajuddaulah is had to be fight to the English East India Company over to trading of right and is defeated in the battle of the Plessy is the June 1757 is the power there is a bid to the subjugations of Bengal as well as India. There is an important the next year, the Nawab of the Awadh, there is important, the Nawab of Awadh, with the weakenings of central control of Mughal, Suba of the Awadh also say as an emerging ambition of the provisional governor. Sadar Khan is Abraham ul Malik. Sadar Khan is a discipline, there is a local jamidars and give a shape to the well paid and the Bel armies and the Bel trained to the army. Before his death in 1739, Sadat Khan is made to the provisional head and heritage is a position. And his sensation is a Safadar is a Jung and the Asaf of Ud-Dawla is not only to play a very decisive role in the politics of northern India but also give a long-term administrative stability to be a Nawab of the Awadh. Under the is a Nawab is a firstly Firozabad and then to Lucknow become to the central rival of the Delhi in their sphere of arts, literature and craft. Regional architecture is reflected except in the form of the laboratories and other buildings. The evolution of the dance from the Kathak was the outcome for the culture synthesis. There is important here, a Kathak was the outcome of culture synthesis. So our next topic is important here, a Sikh of Punjab. There is a most important Sikh as a Punjab. The Mughal force the suppressed the Sikh under to the Banda Bahadur. But this did not be put an end of the Sikh resistance of the Mughal authorities. In the 17th-20th century and the 1730th century, Amritsar is emerged as a center of Sikh activity. The mainly because of there is a nice and the image is a center. Kapur Singh there is a most important of the Sikh leader of the time. Operated from it is a communities and he gradually set about the consolidating a revenue is a calm military system. And some Sikh groups also started to the consolidating themselves as a political force and this activity is discouraged. There is a time to the Mughal is a governor of the Lahore Suba to set up a independent power base of himself in the region. And there is a first Abdus is a Samad Khan and there is he is a son of the Zakaria Khan is attempted to be controlled of against his power. After the latter is a dismissed in the 1745, the balance shifted still to further in the favor of the Sikh warrior leaders, such as the Jassa Singhs, Alwalia, and he later on founded the kingdom of the Kapurthala. Is important here. Who is the founder of Kapurthala? There is the Jassa Singh is Aluwalia, and he is later on founded the kingdom of Kapurthala. The mushrooming of packets under the authority of Sikh leaders was a feature of the two decades is the proceedings of Ahmad Shah of Delhi's invention of the Punjab, and this process was evidenced in the Eastern Punjab and the Baridova, and there is a thought that a principal oppositions are faced by the Avdali in the campaigns of the 17th century and 1760th century in the Punjab come from the Sikh. The Marathas also is a play a role of the significance on this occasion. And eventually, while there is a mid and 1760th century, Sikh authorities is over, is the Lahore was established, and the Afghan were not able to consolidate there is a earlier gain. Under the Ahmad Shah's successor, Timur Shah, ruler 72 to 93, some of the territories and towns that had been taken by the Sikh as such as a Multan and were recovered, and the descendant of the Ahmad Shah continued to be a harbor his ambition in this direction until the end of the century. But there is 17th century, there is where to dealing with the confederations of about a 60 Sikh is a chieftains, and some this were to be emerged as a priestly is a state under to the British, such as a Nawab and the Patiala. Nava and the Patiala. Nava is important here and Patiala also. The sixth is a chiefdoms as a continue to the many of the administrative practice initiated by there is a Mughal. The main is a subordinate of the chief, where is give to the Jagir assignment. The precise of the culture of the Mughal bureaucracies continue to the hall Seve. It was a one such as a chief Ranjit Singh, the grandson of the Charhat Singh is a Surkakis, who is eventually believed to there is a principal transport the very time into a large entity. Ranjit Singh as a effective to rule of the last state for a decline from the 1799 to the 1839. The power of English East India companies was the growing in all parts of the country during this period. Within the 10 years of the death, the British had annexed to the Punjab. His rise to the power was based on the superior military force and partly is survived by the Europeans is a memories and there is static location of the territories that he had inherited from to the father. Ranjit Singh as a kingdom representing to the is a culmination of near a century of Sikh rebellings and against the Mughal rule. It was based on their intelligent application of the principles of the statecraft. He used as a capital there is a great trading city of the Lahore, which he is captured in a 1799. Having gained control of the trade route, and he imposed to the monopoles on their trade in a salt, grain, and textile from Kashmir to enhance his revenues. Using this is a earning, he is built up an army of 40,000 cavalry and infantry by the year of 1809, and he was the updistributed to the master of the most of Punjab. Our next topic is the most important here, Jaipur and other Rajputana state. That is important, the Rajput and other Rajputana state. The Jaipur is earlier is Amber in there is eastern Rajasthan was a Rajput principality is controlled by there is a Kachuwala is clan, and in the earlier 18th century the ruler Jai Singh is a Savais took the step to increase his power and manifold, and this was done by the arranging to have a Jagir assessment in the vicinity of the home territory, and second here by the taking of the right on the land revenue through is a farming for collection of a land tax right on their parcel of land that are the rented by their is the state to on the individual, which was gradually made a permanent by the time of his death in the 1743. Jai Singh, after the Worms Jaipur come to be named, and had emerged as a single most important ruler in the region. And most of the larger Rajput states were constantly involved in their petty quarrels and civil wars. Ajit Singh is a Marwara is killed by his own son. It's important. Ajit Singh is a Marwara was killing by his own son. In the 1750s centuries, is a Suraj Mal of the Jat ruler of the Bharatpura is like a Jai Singh adopted to the modified form to the Mughal revenue administration in his territories. However, by this time there is a fortune of the Jaipur kingdom were seriously in a question. Under threat from to the Marathas, is records as had to be taken adopt to the short-term physical accession. At the same time, a series of the crop failure in a 1750th century and 60th century adversely to affected the Faisal is the agriculture. The second half of the 18th century was thus marked by an economical depression, accompanied by a decline in the political power of Jaipur. During this period, Jaipur became a vulnerable is a target and from to the ambition of the Marathas and Mahadaji Siddhai in a particular. The state are discussed so far with their expansion of the Marathas, where is all the land locked, and this did not mean that the trade was not an important element in there is a make-up for the kingdom of the Ranjit Singh was closely is linked to the trade. However, lack of success to the sea as greatly is increasing the vulnerability of a state and particularly in an era when the major power was the English East India Company itself initially is a maritime enterprise.